do you have any other ideas or strategies that you've been wanting to try that you just kind of either didn't have enough time or you thought were too difficult for you?
Yeah, I'd like to try for my next exam a style called Cornell notes. I'd like to have I would really like to not have to write the same set of notes 5, 6 times, just write it once and study that. That'd be more efficient, especially taking 6 classes.
Yeah.
I can only spend this much time for this subject and I need to move on.
Okay.
So I'd like to try writing Cornell notes off of the recordings of the lectures.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, definitely figuring out which way of writing or which technique of writing will help you the best. What do you think, or why do you think Cornell notes might be a better advantage versus the other technique you tried last week?
You can get more information on the same page by separating the information in columns.
Okay. So kind of walk me through it. If you're to do Cornell notes, kind of, why don't you show me what you would do, like kind of lay it out for us. If you were to take your history notes from class and then maybe turn them into Cornell notes.
No problem. You fold the page in a third and tend to write, I don't know, White House here as a subject on the left side.
So is this something you do in class, or are you doing this after you got your notes and then you redo it to this version?
This would be off the recording of the lecture.
So you do this like at home or at the library?
Yes.
Okay.
And then draw a line off, or you folded the page, and on this side you write a blurb about this subject.
So you go into more detail?
Yeah, you write maybe like a little paragraph about that, and then you move on to your next subject, and you write on this side a blurb about that.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, I like that idea. Why do you think this idea is more helpful for you personally? What do you think?
Because when you're studying, you can fold it like this and read White House, and then you try to out loud say what you know about it, and if you don't, you can flip over and read what you wrote.
Oh, that's a good idea. So it's kind of like your own version of like a little trivia game, maybe?
Yeah, but without having to write the notes, write flashcards, all...
That's a good idea.
Busy work, yeah.
You know, and if you're studying by yourself, you don't have to rely on a partner to quiz you or test you, so you kind of have it in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea. So I think for this week, I want you to try this technique out and, excuse me, on one of your tests, and let me know how it goes. If you think this strategy, these Cornell notes, are going to be more beneficial than another strategy we might test out.
Yeah.
So what test do you have coming up this week?
I have a science test.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think would be a great idea for your science, because there's probably a ton of vocab and main ideas and points they're gonna have to go over. So I definitely want to hear how you do next week. So that's gonna be your homework assignment, okay?
All right.
So I know you have a lot going on in studying, but I think this homework assignment will be pretty easy since you already are going to be studying anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's perfect. I'm glad to hear that you were coming up with some good ideas and open to some new ideas and technique, because I really think it sounds like you're motivated and want to keep improving.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Before we kind of wrap up our session in a couple minutes, I just want to go over like your overall goals or hopes for these few sessions we've had, and your study habits, skills. What are your hopes with all the things that we've been discussing and these little strategies that we've been testing out?
Try to just improve all the grades in all the classes, couple points over the total grade of the class, not to set some unrealistic goal and shoot for the moon. No, we'll just try to get some points improved and improve our GPA.
Okay, so kind of slow and steady.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. Keeping it realistic, but also having a good goal in mind. While you're working on these ideas, just keep thinking about your goals and how you want to improve your GPA. Every little bit helps. Every extra minute or two you study is really going to make a difference, and you'll see those improvements in due time. So I think that's going to be great for you. Keep it up. Keep doing a great job.
Thank you.
So do you have any other questions for me, or what we're going to do over the next few sessions as you come in?
Do you have a third idea on how to take notes besides the Cornell notes?
Sure. Which classes do you find yourself stressing about the material the most? Like when you would, if you have a test in all your classes, which class do you think would be the one that you worry about studying the most?
Facts and dates in history class.
So history? Okay. How do you normally study for history currently? What are the ways you study now?
Flashcards, Cornell notes, and consolidating the notes I already have.
Okay. Yeah, I think keep trying those 3 ideas because those I think will be a great idea to include in your study habits. But one thing I suggest is when you are reading, if you're reading your textbook or your notes or whatever it may be, read out loud because your brain is going to be able to process information a little bit easier when you're reading out loud. If you're reading the textbook or your notes, even that you've already written, read them to yourself. Even if you're in your room and your mom thinks you sound funny, just read them out loud to yourself because that'll help you comprehend them a little bit easier in the long run. You'll have it'll help you with the memorization part of the facts and the little dates like that. I think that can be a really useful technique, and you're already reading, so it's not going to take you a lot more time. I think that's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
As for dates, I know history can be filled with lots of dates and events, and sometimes it can be hard to remember what happened when and all that. Sometimes I'll try to make abbreviations or little acronyms to try and help focus on all those dates, because if you're studying, for example, the Civil War, each of those battles or events happens over the course of many years, so it's hard to remember each one. So just thinking of little quick things that will help you remember, when an event happened, like a little rhyme, or if the number ends in a 2 and the person's name rhymes with 2, or something to help you, kind of little short quips like that, because it is hard to remember lots of little facts. I know for history
Mm-hmm.
that can be challenging.
Yeah, thank you.
I had one other idea I thought of. If you like gum or you like candy, my college professors, they used to tell us, when you're studying, because you're going to be studying for hours sometimes, and you're going to be going on and reading so many things, you don't want to kind of lose track of what you've been studying and kind of overwhelm yourself. So whenever you take the test, you're not feeling stressed out, or you don't kind of just blank out. When you are studying originally, chew gum or a mint or something, and just study however you would normally, reading or talking out loud or quizzing each other with your friends. And then when you take your quiz or test, do the same thing, eat gum or mint or something, because there's been studies saying that if you're chewing gum or mints or the same candy flavor, it will help trigger your memory a little bit. So I know some teachers let you have mints or gum, and if they do, I think that would be a really good idea to try and see, does it help you at all. So test it out, see if you go get some gum and chew it at home, and then see how you do on your test next week.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Do you have any other questions or comments or just anything on your mind before we kind of close up our session today?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll see you next week, and definitely let me know how your homework goes. These new Cornell notes. Test it out for your history test, and let me know how you do, because you have your test coming up this week, and then when I see you again in the following week, give me some feedback on how you did on your test and how these notes affected your study. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. It was great to see you again this week.
You too. Have a good day.
Thank you.